Have you ever wondered what it truly means to live with discipline, honor, and unwavering focus? In today's world, people are distracted, easily swayed, and constantly searching for purpose. But centuries ago, there was a group of warriors who mastered not only combat, but the art of self-control, mental clarity, and inner strength. The samurai were not just warriors. They were philosophers in armor, men who dedicated their entire existence to discipline, duty, and personal mastery. They followed the Bushido Code, a way of life that shaped their actions, decisions, and mindset. Though the age of the samurai has passed, their wisdom remains timeless. And today, I will share with you 5 powerful lessons from the samurai that can completely transform your life. If you want to build mental resilience, self-discipline, and an unshakable mindset, listen carefully, because these lessons may be exactly what you need. The way of Bushido was not just a set of rules, but a path to living with honor and integrity. To a samurai, a promise was unbreakable. Their word was their identity. They understood that who you are in private defines your strength in public. They did not seek validation. They simply lived by their own code. Imagine if, today, people honored their words as the samurai did. Imagine a world where a handshake was as binding as a written contract. Integrity is rare, but it is also one of the most powerful traits a person can have. A disciplined person does not need external motivation because their actions are not based on feelings, but on values. A person of honor does not lie, not because they fear being caught, but because truth is a reflection of who they are. A samurai was trained to control their emotions in all circumstances. The battlefield was unpredictable, but a warrior who reacted with anger, fear, or hesitation would not survive. They believed that the mind must remain as calm as a still lake, even when chaos surrounded them. Miyamoto Musashi, the greatest samurai of all time, once said, "You must understand that there is more than one path to the top of the mountain." This meant that wisdom is not about being rigid, but about adapting without losing oneself. How often do people today let their emotions dictate their lives? How many decisions are made in anger or fear, only to be regretted later? A person who cannot control their emotions is easily controlled by others. But the one who remains composed, even in the face of conflict, holds the greatest power. The samurai meditated on death daily, not to invite fear, but to eliminate it. They embraced the philosophy of memento mori, remember that you will die. They did not see death as an enemy, but as a reminder that time is precious and should not be wasted. In the Hagakure, the book of the samurai, it is written, "Meditation on inevitable death should be performed daily. When the mind is calm, the way is clear." The greatest tragedy is not death, but a life spent on meaningless distractions. When people are unaware of their own mortality, they waste time. They live as if tomorrow is guaranteed, yet they fail to realize that every wasted moment is time that can never be regained. Imagine how different life would be if people truly accepted that their days are numbered. How many grudges would be dropped? How many dreams would be pursued without hesitation? The samurai lived with urgency because they understood that time is the only thing that can never be replaced. Mastery was not an option for the samurai. It was a way of life. They believed in relentless training, the idea that a skill must be refined endlessly to be truly understood. They followed the principle of Kaizen, the pursuit of constant improvement. Musashi trained every day without fail, sharpening his skills beyond human limits. He won over 60 duels, undefeated in battle, but he did not consider himself perfect. He considered himself a student of the sword, always learning, always evolving. He believed that how one does anything is how one does everything. How a warrior ties his armor is how he wields his blade. How a person wakes up in the morning is how they approach their entire life. The difference between success and failure is in the details. A warrior does not rise to the occasion. They fall to the level of their training. If you are not constantly refining your mind, your body, and your craft, you are already behind. The samurai understood that true strength often comes from walking alone. Musashi lived by the philosophy of Dokodo, or the way of walking alone. He believed that solitude was necessary for true wisdom and self-discovery. In the modern world, people fear being alone, mistaking solitude for loneliness. But a true warrior knows that isolation is where transformation happens. It is in silence that thoughts become clear, that the mind sharpens, that the greatest battles are won before they even begin. Those who constantly seek external validation will never truly know themselves. Those who cannot sit in silence without distraction will never master their own thoughts. Strength is not found in the approval of others, but in the ability to stand firm in one's own path. The age of the samurai has passed, but their wisdom remains eternal. Their lessons are not relics of the past, but blueprints for a life of discipline, resilience, and true power. In a world that is constantly changing, where people are pulled in 1,000 directions, those who walk the samurai's path, who live with honor, train with discipline, master their emotions, embrace their mortality, and walk their own path, will always stand above the rest. The strongest warrior is not the one who fights the most battles, but the one who has mastered himself. Like, subscribe, and join this journey of self-mastery. Let's continue learning, one lesson at a time.